I spent the apocalypse unvaccinated edition. Because as we know, our current plague is being driven completely by everybody who was too fucking scared to get a shot. Remember those kids when we used to line up to get the flu shot every year at school? There was always at least one kid who had to be pulled back in line, kicking, screaming, crying great big tears. Those are the people who now are driving the pandemic. So there you go. This morning I get a call from my sister who has to work in a school where they have no mask mandate, and she and one other person are the only people masking. A handful of kids are masking, and she and one guy in the cafeteria, she works in the cafeteria, she called me this morning, she thinks she has COVID. It blew through her vaccine. So thank you, all you scared, whiny, candy-ass kids from grade school that wouldn't go get your shot. You're not brave. You're not freedom fighters. You're candy-ass, whiny little baby brats.
Never grew up.
Who never grew up. That's a good line. I like that, Lynn. You can tell Lynn's a teacher. At any rate. So, what am I doing? I'm still working with bullshit and crap. And I'm not working on my tree houses, which is what I want to work on, and haven't been able to work on but for like 15 minutes this entire year because polar vortex,
yes,
tornado, and the worst heat wave we've had in decades. And all of those things do damage. You already saw me have to deal with the plumbing. What I didn't tell you was that the tornado that came through also cracked some of the wallboard in the trailer when it apparently moved it, which is what I think broke my plumbing
in the first
from
place.
The polar vortex,
yes,
weakened it, and then when the trailer was moved ever so slightly in that tornado, it broke the pipes the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I had to deal with all the wreck from it. It's been one thing after another, right? For all of us. Okay, so I bought a big bunch of wood to work on the treehouse with, which I keep having to use on other shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have Lynn. Every freaking thing you do has to start with trying to gather up the tools and the stuff that you're going to need to do that job. Now, I'm working in the shop, so you would think, well, all your tools should be there. You're forgetting I have 2 shops.
And multiple
And
outlets.
whichever place is closest to the job I'm doing, all the tools are in the other shop. It's the same thing that happens with the goats coming up on the front stoop to shit. Life. Okay, so I have 2 of my full 2x4s that I'm going to need for this project that I had to steal from my I want to work on the treehouse pile. And then I've got the tools that I brought from the other place. And of course there's tools from here.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got buckets and stacks. These are pressure treated boards.
Pieces
Parts. I didn't leave anything at my mother-in-law's when I finished making the deck. All of this crap that I will be using today came from that job, the shit that was too short to use on that project.
Right.
And I
That most
kept it
people
anyway.
would throw away or burn.
Most people would look at this and throw it the fuck away. Okay? But it's pressure treated. I don't throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. If you remember, I told you that when we bought this place, this shop was in such bad shape and it was stacked with garbage this high.
Right.
It looked so horrible and was in such bad shape. It had basically, I counted them this morning, 7 different roof levels.
Right.
What I'm going to be working on today is the initial building that they brought in here and then added everything else onto. If little point
Yeah,
up
what
at
you
the
started to say
ceilings-
was that it was in such bad shape. The realtor said
the big selling point when he showed me this was it'll only cost you a couple $100 to have the bulldozer knock it down. Meanwhile, I've been using it for over 29 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've had to do, as I've told you many, many times, I've done work. Now, if Lynn will shine up, you can kind of see the different roof lines, what they look like. It's now one roof line. But if she'll shine up, you can see by looking at the underneath side. Look at this side too, honey. Show this side.
I'm going.
Okay.
I don't want to make him seasick.
And then show this. Okay, so this was the initial thing. It was a peak here. And then they've added that. This entire part of the shop has a wood floor. The rest of it has concrete. Okay, so a few years ago, it busted loose right here at the seam. In fact, let me get a broom so you can actually see what I'm showing. Okay, so a few years ago, don't walk out on this.
Oh,
don't walk out on this.
Sorry.
That's what I'm doing.
Sorry.
My wife, I'm going to walk right on the broken
Well, I wanted
part.
to show people.
Okay, no.
What you're doing.
Just kind of shine it over that. Okay, a few years ago, the floor broke loose and fell right here. Just a little bit. I had all these brackets that I had bought. I bought 5 boxes of them for $1 at a yard sale. And so I basically screwed it in here at the height I wanted the floor. And then I used screws, great big long screws, and screwed them down into the 2x4 that's underneath the board and pulled the floor back up. And that worked for many years. But thanks in part, I'm sure, to hopefully not bugs, but it probably is bugs. Maybe some dry rot. The fact that this building is,
Maybe
this
that little
initial
earthquake.
building,
Or tornado. Something.
that this initial building is so... Can you let me talk?
Sorry.
The fact that this initial building is, God alone knows how old.
Right.
After the polar vortex, the middle of this floor started going until it has a bowl. And the other day I was walking across it about a week ago, and I noticed when I stepped here that I'm 5 seconds from going through.
Oh, yeah, it's a trampoline.
This is why I didn't want my wife to
Yeah.
walk on this, because this, as you can see, is going.
Now do that again.
Oh, okay, so you can see, okay.
See?
Yes.
Yeah, rattle, rattle, rattle.
Okay, this has to be fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what I would like to do, you know, if life hadn't handed me a great big pile of shit on turd bread, what I'd like to do is pull this entire floor out of here, although that one's still in pretty good that one's in really good shape, actually, because it's newer than this. So I'd like to just pull this whole motherfucker out of here, bring in trucks, and pour a concrete slab. I can't afford that. I can hardly afford to patch it back together. Because, hello, there's a pandemic and not enough of you fuckers subscribe to make me any money on YouTube! I have an empty bed and breakfast, a publishing company that makes no money, and my books aren't selling, and you fuckers wouldn't get me enough subscribers to make any money on YouTube. So, any rate, so I don't even have the money to pull the whole fucking thing up and replace it with wood. Okay? I'm gonna have to patch it. Now, the patch I'm gonna do should last till I'm dead, and my kids can deal with that after I'm dead. I don't care. Fuck them, what have they done for me lately? Okay, so I've got to do a bunch of work. So the first thing that happens, though, when you do something in a building you're using, is a bunch of shit has to get moved. So I'm going to move remover. Now let's talk about remover for a minute. Talk about
got the
a
net on there.
project. Oh, he got a net. Not that I keep everything. Not that I spoiled my grandkids, but there's more than one butterfly net here, just in case they want to chase fireflies. Now they're grown, they don't want to do any of that cute shit. Masturbate. Who cares about that? Nobody even wants to know they do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a bazillion years ago, Sarah threw away the kid's stroller because they were neither one of them, they were both at an age where they were too big for the stroller. She threw away their stroller and a couple of their little toys. And Zeb had in his mind, light stick.
Yes.
Zeb had in his mind he wanted a robot at that point. And I said, well, we'll take all this crap and we'll build him a robot. He named this robot Remover because he hauls stuff. So he removes it. So, any rate, I left a little cup holder and shit like this. And the kids actually, when I first made this for him, he was small enough that he could ride on this. And a bazillion little kids have ridden on this. Okay, so what did I do? I took a couple of garbage cans, I took a piece of the old toy, and I put this all together. I used hoses and made some hands for Remover. Okay, all this shit opens up. And these are old waste cans. And what I do is, when the kids have a party, I put ice in there, and then I put boxes of juice in there. I put snacks in this compartment. That was, and then
That's the
in
trash
this
can.
one, more room for snacks. So this is Remover. Remover is easy to use because Remover is purposely made to roll around. We could literally roll him around the yard to where the kids were and bring their drinks and their snacks right where they were.
And Zeb was so cute because he liked playing host and
He liked playing
serving
host,
everybody.
and he would take Remover around and make sure everybody had a drink and a snack. He would go around, he was a little bitty, and he would go around and he would say, would you like a drink? Would you like a snack? He was very cute. But I got it. So that's the first thing you got to do when you do something like this. You got to move all the shit.
Yeah.
Now, what you didn't see is I already moved a bunch of the shit out of the way to make room to put this shit. And it would be nice, in a perfect world, I could have a flunky who came and did this kind of shit for me so that I don't have to waste my knowledge and talent on moving shit around. But I don't have any money. How many times do I have to tell you fuckers I don't have any money? You can learn lots from me because this is what you do when you don't have any money, and I'm guessing a lot of you fuckers don't have any money either. And if you do have money, don't even watch me. Just send me money. But I'm not bitter by life. So I'll have to move. The worst thing I have to move is all this crap under Zeb's workbench. This was Zeb's workbench that I made him. You can tell it's made for a kid. It's all kid-sized tools and all that.
And it's got partially done projects everywhere.
Partially done. He was constantly forever building stuff and then saying, okay, I got that far, I'm done. So there's lots of partial stuff. And
But there's all kinds of stuff.
he had some of this stuff, Roland built some of it. Roland and Zeb both built it. Okay, so I got to move all this shit. This, you're like, why are you keeping that? Because, can you not tell? My grandson learned to put in nails on this stone. So we have to keep it forever and ever.
Of course.
What the hell's wrong with you people? Have you no soul? Okay, so I'm going to have her put that away while I read. I don't know if I thought there was enough of this. When I got done with this project,
flooring?
I would put this flooring on here. I'm pretty sure there's not enough.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Probably not. It looks like a lot, but probably
It looks
depends
like
on
a
how
lot,
big
but when
they'll-
you start putting it down,
Yeah.
but it probably is enough because let's not forget that came out of your mother's floors in her house.
Yep.
So, yeah, her mother's house got hit by cars, not once but twice. And they had just put this floor down and they had to pull it all up and put in new floor.
Okay, so we're going to come back.
We'll come back.
Okay.
When I move all this crap.
Okay.